Okay, instead of bowing it, we're just going to play it. So the whole thing is to get a pattern that you know how to play. Okay, so the pattern that we'd be looking at, an analogous pattern that we're looking at with the guitar, once again, starts on root 2, 3, but it's going to be 4, 5, 6. It's 4, 5, 6, then 7, root 2. It's analogous to this particular part of the guitar pattern. So we're over here. So we want to be playing. Let's just do the diatonic for a minute. Okay. Now we're going to do the pentatonic. Let's look at some of the other positions. That's basically what we're going to be doing. Let's look how that 1, 2, 3 on the bottom there, and then we have the left justified, then we have the right justified, then we have the 1, 2, 3 again. Right there, 1, 2, 3, then we left justified and right justified. So depending on where we're starting. So let's start on the 5. So here's our 5. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to do it from the 5. So we're going to go right into that short pattern, that left justified, right? Okay, that's from the 5. Now, if we bring that same pattern down to the root, we've got we can bring that same pattern down to the root, and that's how caged works on the guitar. Okay, we have, let's say we have caged C, A, G, E, and D, but we can also go C, A, G, E, D. I know you can't hardly hear it because I have a band-aid on my. So we can expand each position and then we can bring them back. But if we bring them back down to the capo, then we're going to do 5 different keys. C, A, G, this is like revenge of the guitar here, but we'll be back on guitar as soon as we put the cello away. So we'll look at that depending on where we start. Alright, so now from 2, we cut into the pattern different like that. We've got to do the top part of that pattern, and then we can do the 2 left justified. Now on the guitar, what starts with a half step and a whole step? Where do we start on with a half step and a whole step on guitar? Well, let's see. I think it's in the C box. Half step, whole step. So with the 2, it's whole step third, and then we go right justified with it. So it's, see how I'm right justifying it? To my right, that way. So it's half step, whole step, whole step, half whole, whole half, whole half. So we're cutting into the pattern at that point. Alright? Okay, so that's the gist of pentatonics. That's it on the cello. Now as you go up, another thing I might mention is as you go up here, so we've got root 2, 2, and then you go to the 5, then you go to the 2, but you could start the 2 back here again. We're cutting into the pattern. 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. 2, 3, 5, and by the way, start to finish scales, purple to purple. Can you see it? 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. Start to finish scales. 6, root 2, 3, 5. Okay, so we're finishing up just like the C, and then from there, what are we going to do? The 3 whole steps. So it's 6 root 3 root 6, and then justified up. So where are we at with this? Remember, 3 goes to root up there. Okay, so we did 3 6 root like that. So 6 is going to go back to this root here. The 3 is going to be over here. Here's your 3. Here's your 6. Here's your root. 3 to root. So it's, then start the 3 whole step. Okay, it's not as easy to play on the cello as it is the guitar. So what we just did was, so let's look at it in strings. This was string 1. Here was string 2. Here's string 3. String 4. Here's our 3. So we couldn't do this because I'm not that good at the cello yet, and they're bigger intervals. Something like that, you know. I couldn't do that on the cello because I didn't want to mess up. This is the first time I've done those in the little inversions. Remember, cage is just an inversion. Here's C. Here's D. Here's the E. Here's G. Wait a minute. C. Okay, then A is actually, then G is what? The A is actually, and then G is, and then E is what? E starts on root, and then D starts on the 2. Okay, I messed that up, but they're inversions of the word caged. So let's move along. This is the pentatonic. Notice the darkened 4 and 7. We don't play 4 and 7 pentatonic. We don't have to worry about them. The pattern goes on. The pattern goes on. Every one of the 4 strings is here. Root to 6, 5 to 3, 2 to root, 6 to 5, 3 to 2, root to 6 again. Alright, I've got more than we need there. But it's always good to have more than you need. So let's move along. Next chart, we've got a lot of stuff on this chart, and it's not, pentatonics is not the subject of this chart. Let's see what it is. It's getting a little hot in here. Cello, fiddle, linked double short, and long cages. Ah, we're back to the modals. My trusty bottle of water. It's already something like 80 in here. Okay, so what I want to accomplish in this with the cello is I'm trying to do what is actually the next chart is, and we can jump to that. Chart 104, cage for cello. I want to draw your attention to this. My guitar is down C tuned. It always has been down C tuned. It was a curse, but now it's going to help us. So my C is the E shape is the C. Okay, the D shape is a B flat, as you can see over here. Okay, the G shape is an E flat.